Hey everyone, welcome back to Unorthodox Cricket, and what a massive game in the World Cup last night. India versus New Zealand. You can't really ask for much more in a semi-final. Obviously, as a New Zealand fan, I'm absolutely pumped that we got up and over the line, but at the same time, absolute heartbreak for any of you Indian fans out there. I know I'd be feeling pretty shit today if we were on the other side of it, but what a game of cricket. Two great teams going at it, and yeah, you can't really ask for more in a semi-final. It was such a unique game the whole way through, played over 2 days. I've never seen anything like it before. Now the whole game was a bit of an emotional roller coaster for myself. Ever since winning the toss, going into bat, losing a few wickets, I thought we might have underdone the batting a bit. I thought Ross Taylor and Williamson had sort of underplayed themselves, but on reflection, absolute genius. But the whole way it was just such a roller coaster. Are we going to win? Oh, we're on top. No, we're not. And yeah, it was just a great game of cricket to be a part of. So what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to just take a look at the game as a whole, take a look at some of the key moments in which led to the result. So the first point, Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. At the time, I really thought they dug New Zealand a hole and hadn't put enough on the board, but upon reflection, absolute genius. They read the pitch so well. It really shows just how hard it is sitting at home to read a pitch. Being out in the middle, they could clearly tell that 240, 250 was going to be competitive, and they judged it to absolute perfection. Now going into the second innings, it was always going to be a massive task for the New Zealand bowlers. Personally, I didn't give us a lot of hope. I just thought the likes of Rohit and Kohli were going to be too much in a run chase. But enter Matt Henry and Trent Boult. Matt Henry at the top was absolutely superb. I'd probably written him off before the game and suggested that Lockie Ferguson should take the new nut, but Matt Henry proved me so wrong, and I'm glad he did. He got rid of the hitman Rohit Sharma early and followed by KL Rahul. And then Trent Boult, absolute peach to Virat Kohli, who reviewed it, and it was just clipping the stumps, so that was a massive call in terms of the game. If that had gone the other way and Kohli was given not out, on the review, he would have stayed not out, and that would have changed the whole course of the game. So at 3 for 5, as a Kiwi fan, I was in absolute elation. We'd got rid of the 3 biggest batsmen. I didn't think it could get too much better than 3 for 5. But then Danish Karthik came in, surprisingly ahead of Dhoni. I'm not sure what the thinking there was. I think upon reflection, they'll be thinking that Dhoni maybe should have come out. But anyway, then Jimmy Neesham takes an absolute stunner at backward point to get rid of Danish Karthik, to bring the Indians at 24 for 4. But enter Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya. 2 young guys came together, really tapered their natural game back, pulled their shots back in, started to rebuild the innings, and looked like they were going to do so. I personally thought New Zealand were letting the game slip a little bit when de Grandhomme and Neesham came in. It was all just a bit easy. They kept bowling a bit straight into the hips and letting them tick singles out to deep square there. And just too many wides, and as a New Zealand fan I was getting pretty frustrated at this point. I just thought things were slipping. I thought Kane had sort of taken his foot off the throat a bit. But then enter Mitchell Santner. What a spell of bowling from him. His slow left arm spinners were working an absolute treat, really tied the batsmen up, gave them nothing to work with, and after 5 overs he had figures of 1 for 5 off his 5. Now, he also picked up the massive wickets of Pant and Hardik, and that was just purely from pressure. Bowling dot after dot after dot. They didn't have any option to tick any singles away, so eventually they both looked for the slog sweep, and the bounce just got a bit big on both of them, and they were both caught. Rishabh Pant at deep mid-wicket and Hardik at short mid-wicket. So then after the wickets of Pant and Hardik, New Zealand were right back on top again. Jadeja and Dhoni had just come to the wicket, and I really think this is where Williamson slightly missed a little bit of a trick. So Santner was bowling superbly, had bowled 5 overs, but then Williamson decided to bring on Neesham to Jadeja. Now I thought to disrupt Mitchell Santner's rhythm was off. They should have just bowled his 10 out straight. However, Neesham came in, Jadeja decided to attack him, came down the track, pumped him for a big 6 down the ground, and that really looked to get his momentum going. Now 2 overs later, Williamson obviously backtracked on his decision and decided to bring Santner back into the attack. However, after that time off, had clearly lost a bit of rhythm, and he was slightly looser after that. However, he still did bowl well and finished up a great spell, and what a match-defining spell it was from him. But then Jadeja and Dhoni just showed how classy they are. They really put New Zealand under the pump, putting on a 100-run partnership. And then Jadeja was hitting the ball so cleanly like no one else had been able to throughout the whole match. Now coming into the last 5 or 6 overs, I really think the game had swung back in India's favour, just with Jadeja and Dhoni. Dhoni was playing well within himself, but you also knew that at some point he was going to unleash. And then the massive wicket of Ravi Jadeja. Trent Boult came in, dug one in outside off stump. Jadeja tried to slap it over cover, and thank God Kane Williamson was underneath that, because I wouldn't have trusted anyone else to take such a clutch catch at such an important time. Then 2 overs to go, Dhoni cuts a 6-over point, and I thought that was the game over. Very next ball, tickles one off his leg, pushes 2, Martin Guptill absolutely phenomenal, direct hit, sends Dhoni out by 2 inches, and that was basically the game there. Left too much for the tail-enders to do in the last over. 23 they needed off Neesham's last, and then he sealed it up. But what more can you say than what a game of cricket, and yeah, heartbreak for you Indian fans, really sorry, but as a New Zealand fan, I'm absolutely pumped. Second final in a row. I really hope we play the Australians and can get one back on them. But tonight's another massive game, England versus Australia. Who's going to meet New Zealand in the final? And can New Zealand put on another performance? But can New Zealand do the unthinkable and go from the underdogs to lifting the trophy? I really hope so. It would be huge scenes in New Zealand if that were the case. But I'm fizzing. 2 more games left, 2 massive games left, and there's some really good cricket to be played, I'm sure. But that's all for today, guys. Sorry if it's a bit shit. I'm exhausted. It's just been endless cricket for the last 2 or 3 weeks. My sleeping pattern's really out the window. I feel like a zombie. So I'm trying to do my best here. I promise these videos will get better after the World Cup, but thanks for your support in the meantime. I'm sure I've messed something up in that lineup, but let me know what you guys think in the comments, some key moments, and who you guys think might meet New Zealand in the final, and then who you think might go on to take the trophy. But thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.